जाती है, आप पकड़े नहीं जाते। तो अगर मैं विक्रमजीत साहब को कहूँ कि विक्रम मेरे साथ सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कॉफी पीना, तो अब ये नहीं कह सकते कि भाई साहब मैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट में नहीं हूँ, because I will be able to track him down. If I say Madhvi, you have to call me for dinner, she can't say Siddharth, we are out of town, we can't meet for dinner, because they'll all get caught. So that is the electronic imprint. We have things like the Punjab police whose purane procedure हैं, and I must share with you a very interesting story. Please don't quote me on this. When we did the Nirbhay inquiry in the Usha Mehra Commission, so the police officer is supposed to create an entry when he goes to the police station, when he leaves the police station, and these records are maintained. So Justice Usha Mehra was thinking, "Bhai, तुमने record ये अच्छे रखा है कि नहीं? What were you doing?" So we came upon a very peculiar situation where the entry and the mobile bill of one police officer, the mobile records were not matching. तो साहब हम बड़े परेशान हुए. Now the gentleman was not coming clean, and we kept insisting. I said, "Listen, I have to explain this to the commission of inquiry. I'm going to get killed if you don't give me an answer." So he finally said, "He said, sir, the point is, I was out with my friends having a drink. My wife doesn't approve of it. If she'd find out, she would have killed me. So I could not admit to you that I was out there. I'm actually elsewhere." Same case. We wanted to track the movements of the offenders. आपने निर्भय केस का सुना है? Have you heard of the case or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. In the Nirbhay case, we wanted to track the movement of the offenders. So we had the oral version of PW1, the boy who was injured, and we had electronic records. And we were able to track the movement of these people along the path that they went. और वो रास्ता बनता है, यूँ जाता है, there's a loop taken because they were getting messages. The moment the message has ping on your phone, we've got your location. The moment you receive a call, we've got your location. And these are very important tools, and they've changed. About 5 years ago, no, 4 years ago, I was with the government for a little stint as an ASG. So we had a very awkward situation where somebody was arrested. And in that arrest, the customs officials, said the arrest took place at point A, whereas this man said I was actually picked up from my house. So usko kaise clear kare? So the court, I still remember the bench said, "Why don't you produce the phone records of the officers?" Now I must tell you, there is a concept called practical policing. Do you know what practical policing is? You must know this. Law student को जानना चाहिए. Under the existing rules, the norms have to be maintained in a certain fashion. Practical policing है कि जब डेली डायरी की एंट्री हर समय होती है, जब एफआईआर की एंट्री एक समय में होनी चाहिए, वो रिकॉर्ड खुले रहते हैं. वो रात को बनते हैं 12 बजे जब शिफ्ट चेंज होती है, तब वो सब उसकी एंट्रियां होती हैं. What is this leads to unfairness, this leads to manipulation, this leads to abuse of process. What does it also mean? That with technology, this is no longer possible. With technology, you get caught. With technology, it tracks. So today to say, when people tell me, and Madhvi, Shyam is on the other side, when people tell me, Aadhaar is Big Brother watching you, my answer is, you don't need to have Aadhaar. The moment you have a cell phone, the moment you access your email, the moment you're on Wi-Fi, you're being tracked. And by private companies.
Like WhatsApp.
WhatsApp is something which Madhvi and I will disagree on, and I will say this for Madhvi's satisfaction in mind. जब आप WhatsApp यूज करते हैं तो एक चीज मत भूलिए, कोर्ट में बहस करता हूँ पर आज नहीं कर देता हूँ. Was there not life before WhatsApp? There was, wasn't there? But use WhatsApp if you don't like the terms. But if you use it, it's a contract. कहीं तो terms मानोगे. But we'll do this, Madhvi, in July. We have just spent 2 days of the vacation, Madhvi and I, professionally occupied, but not mentally occupied. And I'll leave it at that. You, Madhvi, right? Next. Okay, there are arrest procedures, and I'd like you to see this, and the rights that are there under arrest. बाद में देख लेना. See all of this, and there's D.K. Basu's judgment. Now D.K. Basu is a great judgment where the Supreme Court says कि देखिए इतनी guidelines, इतनी requirements है, timing, but you must understand one thing. Timing and place of arrest are sometimes distinct than actual arrest, and these lead to aberrations in investigation. यहाँ problems आती हैं, and this is what I call as police officers. मैंने कहा क्या हुआ? तो जवाब आता है साहब, सर operational reasons. समझे आप? Now operational reasons is a thing which we have to get out of the system. And today I can tell you one of the places where reform is coming is from some police forces which want to modernize because they realize that if they don't improve their investigation, they are headed for a disaster in all our prosecutions. जब arrest होते हैं तो क्या होता है? There is a remand. What is the magistrate's role in remand? He has to see, is it a fair arrest? Is it not a fair arrest? Why are you arrested? Then we have statements of confessions. आजकल आप देखते हैं confessional statements record हो जाती हैं, but these statements have to be recorded before a magistrate. They can't be recorded by the police because in India, an accused in custody is not to give a confession. You can't take a confession. Article 20 protects such a person. One problem in our law is, and I must share with you, is of illegally obtained evidence. तो कई बार पुलिस अफसर कहते हैं देखिए साहब मैं चलता हुआ चले गया and suddenly I had this information that there will be some documents lying in the house of the accused. So he walks in and he finds incriminating documents or otherwise. Or he says that somebody dropped an envelope in the office containing evidence against the accused. Now, in India the law has been that we are not really concerned with the source of the evidence. But in the case of electronic records, in the parliament attack in Navjot Samu, they were liberal. But today, PV Anwar, in electronic evidence has become, fortunately for all of us, a lot more stringent. The test is a lot more stringent. Then we have scientific testing investigation. We have brain mapping. We have lie detectors. But these are all voluntary tests. These are things which we have brought in, but the scientific nature of these tests have yet to be accepted in investigations, and this is an important part which needs to be considered. Lastly, मैं आपको यही कहूँगा कि जब investigation complete होती है, it must end in a charge sheet, what we locally call a चालान, or a final report. कई जगह final report means a closure report or an unrest report. अलग-अलग terminologies अलग-अलग जगह है. But the desire to close an investigation is a statutory desire in the CRPC. You don't complete it in 90 days or 60 days as the case will be, after arrest, the man will get bail. So sometimes we find unnecessary speed in investigations, but still in India there are serious concerns. पहला तो forensic reports नहीं आते. If they come, they take months together dealing trials. There are default bails, तो incomplete charge sheets file हो जाती हैं. Post charge sheets, police officers go to sleep, they don't further investigate matters. Records are missed by officers. Of course, now there are provisions to, there are judgments which say you can file them, but sometimes most important records get mixed. And a lot of these errors that take place for the point of view of the accused are not errors that vitiate or finish off the proceedings. Proceedings, despite technical errors in investigation and prosecution, can go on and the CRPC protects them. आपने नूपुर तलवार का केस सुना है? There is a concept of failure of justice which comes in these proceedings. कभी पढ़ना, I had occasion to argue this. So every error in investigation cannot vitiate unless there is a failure of justice. Nupur Talwar, of course, explains that concept in a slightly different context, but the principle is same. So have a look. तो ये तो पहली बात. Now can I take a few minutes in sentencing? Yes or no? Yes. Why do we sentence? Anybody wants to tell me? Why do we give a sentence in a criminal case? Anji? Good. Deterrent. Any other considerations? Anji? Very good point. Anybody else?
For giving justice to the victim by retribution.
Good point. Now, that is what? Retribution? Good.
Social matters.
Anji?
Social matters. Sometimes there is a concept of social conscience, collective conscience.
Absolutely. We'll deal with the collective conscience in a moment. अब ये बताइए, retribution, deterrence, for reformation, which do we apply in India?
Sir, reformative.
Which do we apply in India?
Mostly reformative. Mostly reformative.
Okay. Mostly reformative. But I must tell you, don't be disheartened. Even the Supreme Court does not know whether we are a reformative society, whether we want retribution or deterrence. So as law students, I would request you to teach them someday. I am still a student of law and I am learning, I am not capable of teaching. So let us start on the first premise that there is lack of understanding as to what our philosophy towards criminal justice is. The second point, and I wanted to pick up with what my friend said, was society's crime justice क्या था? Collective conscience का था आपने. Correct? What do you mean by that? What is collective conscience?
Sir, this was held in Afzal Guru case. So,
Binawal.
It was held in Afzal Guru's case, sir, but what does it mean?
it means that sometimes we don't have like direct evidence, like there are different type of evidence, circumstantial evidence or indirect and direct. In that case, sometimes evidences are not direct, which means it's not that possible to prosecute for not.
Boss, वो sentencing से नहीं लेना देना. You have to come back to sentencing, my dear young friend, but you tried well, good. Now let me tell you something. In the Nirbhay case, this issue arose, and there's a very interesting legal issue which I'm going to leave with you and leave it open in the house. Think about it. Your ideas may be much better than we had at the time. The argument of society's cry for justice, collective conscience of society, is an argument that has been taken to justify sentencing in the death sentence. True. A very interesting legitimate argument arose: is it populist or is it democratic? And can we quantify society's cry for justice? We have to argue for the motion. So I tell you, the argument goes like this, and I will leave it with you because it's been accepted in part, but I want you to consider it and think about it and tell me, is this the logical correct way forward? And I'm going to leave it at that. So the argument is like this: society, all of us, give the onus of discharge of a criminal prosecution or an investigation to the state. Who is the state? All of us. So the state, in determination which is the right sentence for a person, looks at society, looks at what society desires in a certain case, and for that there has to be a philosophical backing. So if it is deterrence, the court will look at whether deterrence justifies the harshest penalty, in this case the death penalty. But where do you look for the society's cry of justice? You look at India Gate with candlelight vigils. Where do you look? You look in the judicial file. You look in the evidence. You look in the nature of material brought in record, because the court's job is to determine and apply even this test from the file and no further. And that is the only way we can justify that society's cry for justice, the collective conscience of society, is a judicially applicable test and not a test of a Siddharth Luthra or an Udit or a Gautam standing on the streets and saying, hang them because they're bad. Thank you very much.